Hey, hello. Welcome to week one, day one at Cherry Minds. So, first of all, welcome. Nice to have you here. Nice that you have taken the first step towards understanding your mind. So, I would like to congratulate on you on that. And without wasting anyone's time, let's begin the presentation. So the idea, right? Let me begin there. The idea is to systematically provide you an understanding, both on the basis of science and basis of the practice that we'll do, that what exactly is mindfulness and why is it especially important in today's modern world, in the modern context, right? So let me start by asking a really simple question, and I would like to keep the presentation conversational because it's ultimately about you understanding yourself more than anything else. So, yes, what are your thoughts on it? Yes, I believe you might have read about the brain and saw the diagram when you were in school. So yeah, from the perspective of how is our mind different from other animals, right? So that's the question. That's the question that we'll get the answer to. But let us take a few moments to really see the organ that we are talking about, because this is a cognitive skill. The reason I'm doing this is because this is a cognitive skill. It's really intangible. It's not like joining a gym. I mean, it's similar to it, but it's not exactly as if your biceps will blow up or something like that. So we need to really see and appreciate the organ that we're training. So just for you, uh, a image that I got from the internet. I'm sorry about the quality. I couldn't get a you know better image, but yeah. What? How do you like it? Yeah, I mean it's not the most prettiest of things. That's why it's inside. It's not like your beautiful fingernails or something. So yeah. Uh, but okay. I mean, now that we do have appreciation for how it looks like let us deep down understand what it consists of, right? What are the parts exactly called, and dive a bit deep into the science of it. So I have a video out here which is from 2 minutes neuroscience. You should check it out. It's an amazing channel to learn more about your brain. But what we'll do is we just want to have an introduction, right? A quick introduction into what parts are called what. So I'll give you 2 minutes out here. I'll share the link with you, and 2 minutes for watching this short presentation. Yeah, so I believe you have watched the video, and so yes, a lot of information to take in. Yeah, it is. I mean, of course, that's why not everybody took biology in 10th, right? And I took it along with math. That's a different story. But yes, so the thing to remember, the thing that I mean, if I have to conclude that again, the thing to remember out here is prefrontal cortex, which is right here. Okay, uh, sorry, let me go back right here in the front. Okay, and the second part to remember is parietal cortex. These are both cortex, the big part of it, the outside gray matter, right? That's called as the cortex. So yes, let us move to, yeah, you have seen this video, right? Awesome. Okay. So let us open the brain up a bit. You saw the outermost part, right? That's the grayish part. Okay. Now, if you open it, right, what you have is are two parts, as you can see in the diagram. It's a mammalian brain and a reptilian brain. Okay, it's a tongue twister. You can try it out. Anyway, that's the other two parts. Okay, so right now I just want you to have an understanding. So as you can see from the diagram there, you can see three layers. Okay, that's not difficult to see, and you know the names of it more or less. I'll show you one more video, and that's a neuroscientist speaking, so you'll be able to understand better and from a different perspective. So let's watch the video and then I'll get back to you. Okay, I'll share the link with you. Okay. I hope you have watched the video now. Uh, and to sum it up, I mean, now we have to answer the question that we asked in the beginning. How exactly is our brain different? Okay. So if you see a mammal's brain, if I would have shown you any mammal, uh, take any mammal in your mind, because we have ultimately evolved from them, right? We are fishes once upon a time. So if I show you a mammalian brain, it will have very little neocortex, very little purple region that we saw here. Okay. Then we evolved to primates. Okay. Primates have more cortex and 50 cortical areas. Then we move to like being human, Salman Khan's brand. Okay, 80% neocortex. The purple region is 80% of the brain by volume. If you go and read up more about it, you will find that no other species in mammals or primates have that kind of neocortex. So now are you able to connect the dots in the sense that the mammalian brain was just the small part under the hood. The whole purple region is only recently developed. That's not there in others that we have. That's the answer to the question. Okay. Now, if you just take a moment to let it sink in right now, this is the time. If you have any questions, you should ask me, because this is a I've thrown a lot of facts at you, and ultimately we have made sense of that facts. So I need to make sure that it's aligned in the right way in your mind. Yeah. Open to questions now. Awesome, awesome. So now, if you just think more about it, you will extend it to the fact that if this was not there, if this purple region was not there, it's developed recently, so I can probably develop it more. This is the question that I would have asked myself, and I'm asking this to you. So think about that. Yeah. Now, the next thing is to talk about. You've seen the video. The next thing to talk about, an important fact. We have to know about hormones, because these are being triggered. This is what your mind triggers. So that's ultimately your stress, your emotional anxiety, social anxiety, right? All manifestations, physical manifestations also, lack of sleep, acne, etc., etc. Okay, all those, the responsible one, these hormones which are responsible, are being triggered in your mind, in your brain, by what you call hypothalamus and amygdala. Hypothalamus, it's a tongue twister, that's why, I mean, medicine is hard. And amygdala. So these are the two parts that we need to keep in mind. Okay, hypothalamus sits in top of pituitary gland, and amygdala is responsible for all your fear, flight and fright, fight, flight and freeze hormones, cortisol. Okay, that's the hormone that is secreted by amygdala indirectly. So yes, I mean, this we are towards the end of the presentation, and but I am yet to give you a very important thought, right? So as you have seen in this video, right, this is a very important discussion to have. That you have seen in this video that the neuroscientist talks about, that the processing, the L3 receives the stimulus, and then it transfers the information to L2 or L1. It might or it might not. Let me repeat that. L3 receives the stimulus and passes the information to L2 or L1. Okay, so they decide, of course, L2 and L1 will decide which hormones to release. So misfiring of your L3 region, misfiring of your cortex, if it is in a loop, right? If it is uh, constantly disengaged, that will misfire L2 or L1. So let me give an example of this. This is a straight up example of having a very irritable boss or having stress of your work. If let us take the if a person is not able to sleep because uh, he's constantly worried about unfinished work, that means its L3 is incorrectly receiving the stimulus, or let's say chewing on uh, the stimulus which it experienced earlier during the working time. But right now at 2 a.m. you want your mind to sleep, right? So L3 shouldn't misfire on this occasion at 2 a.m. under the wrong context, so that L2 and L1 misfire hormones that keep you awake. Let that sink in. This is what we are trying to influence here. I know it's difficult to understand. I mean, it has a lot of things and a lot of things to grab. So here I am open to questions again. But what I'm trying to, if I have to conclude again, I'm trying to say that L3 can be trained to communicate properly with L2 and L1. That is the skill of mindfulness. That is the skill of mental awareness, so that it does not misfire. Now I'm open to questions. All right, all right. So, just at the end of this presentation, the last thing that I want to talk about today related to brain is neuroplasticity. Okay, so we took a very long route to conclude that how our brain is different from mammalian brain, because we are more evolved creature. You wouldn't disagree with that. We are the most evolved creatures. So, other part that our mind is different is 80% neocortex, which primates don't have, chimpanzees don't have. And that part can be developed. So we took the longer route. The shorter route is to learn about neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the term that neuroscientists coin, and mindfulness has there are research on it, and it has an association with increased cortical thickness. Increased cortical thickness. You understood the cortical regions, right? Prefrontal cortex, neocortex, stuff like that. So you can change your mind. You can change the way L3 fires or misfires. So that's the skill of mindfulness. So that was all related to the brain from a neuroscience perspective. That we saw it as an organ, right? It is very important to see it as an organ because it's inside our heads, but we need to train it. So I'm open to questions again, but that was the presentation. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your attention. And yes, thank you. Bye.